Hello. Today we're going to do a second day of point slope form with an emphasis on word problems. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to review point slope form, both graphing in that form and writing the equation of lines in that form. So for our first one, we have an equation here and we can tell it is in point slope form. Our slope here was 2/3. And the point that got plugged in is going to be x comma y, where you're going to do the opposite of whatever's there. Since it's x minus 3, that means 3 got plugged in. And for my y value, since it's y minus 2, that means 2 got plugged in. So I'm going to go to the point 3 comma 2, and I'm going to use my slope of up to right 3, or down to left 3. And you're going to graph your points and then connect your line. For the next one, we want to write the equation of the line given these 2 points, but we want to do both point slope and slope intercept form. So it's important to know y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. That's point slope form. Slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Now the problem with these ones is we don't actually know our slope. So we have to go on the hunt for it. So we need to remember the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to label our points x1, y1, x2, y2, and we're going to calculate our slope by doing 10 minus 4 over 2 plus 1. Therefore, our slope should be 2. So we're going to pick either point, and I'm going to show it with both of them. Whatever point you pick, you're going to do y minus the y value equals our slope times x minus the x value. So if you use the point -1 comma 4, notice how it became x plus 1 and y minus 4, and we used our slope of 2. Or if you use the other one, it's y minus 10 equals 2 times x minus 2. You could pick either one. Now to go to slope-intercept form, I'm going to pick one of my equations, and I'm going to basically take and solve for y. So slope-intercept form is y by itself, so if I solve for y, I will naturally then be in slope-intercept form. I'm going to go ahead and distribute my slope, and then I'm going to get y by itself, and I get y equals 2x plus 6. You can always check your equation by plugging a point in for x and y and seeing if you get a true statement back out. So that's just a quick review of point slope form. Let's go ahead and apply this in different cases. So we have a construction company charging $15 per hour. So this $15, since it says per hour, that is a rate, which makes this a slope. And you have a one-time fee. We don't know that one-time fee. We do have another point in time though. 9 hours gives us a cost of $195. That actually represents a point. 9 hours in, my cost is $195. So X is the number of hours, Y is the total cost. So we want to write an equation in point slope form. So notice here how we are given a point based off of the words and a slope. So we're going to do y minus our y1 equals our m times x minus our x1. And this one, all it wanted was that equation in point slope form. It didn't ask us anything else. So that actually is our final answer. Let's take a look at another one. So we have an event facility at a banquet hall, and it can hold up to 250 people. So you have to rent the room, but then you also have to pay for a meal per person. So Marissa is specifically planning an event for 75 people, and she has her budget there. So we need to figure out if this is going to be enough. So what we need to do is we need to figure out the cost per guest, and we need to figure out the one-time fee. So the cost per guest, that's your slope. the one-time fee, that is your y-intercept. So in order to do this, we're going to go ahead and start out in point slope form and then put something into slope intercept form. But the only problem is we don't have the slope yet. So we're going to pull the slope from our graph here. So I'm going to take one piece of information. This first one, 50 people cost $725. So I'm going to write that as a coordinate point. The next one, 100 people cost $1,325. Now you really could pick any 2 points in time. I just went for these two. Now that I have these points in time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the slope by doing 1325 minus 725 divided by 100 minus 50. That gets me 600 divided by 50, which tells me it is $12 per guest. That's our rate here. So $12 per guest. To find my y-intercept, I'm going to pick either point, and just for kicks, I'm just going to take this first one. So I'm going to do y minus y1 equals our slope of 12 times x minus x1. Our goal is to find out the one-time fee so that we can use that to actually answer the question. So we're looking for our y-intercept, which means we're going to take this and we are going to solve for y. So we get y equals 12x plus 125. So that 125 represents the one-time fee. So for Marissa to know if she's going to have enough money, what we can do is we can take this slope-intercept equation and we can say Marissa is planning for 75 people. So if I do 75 times the cost per guest and then add the one-time fee in there, that tells me that it would cost Marissa $1,025. Since she has a budget of $1,200, she has more than the amount that it would cost. So therefore, yes, Marissa has enough. Okay, so it's applying our point slope and slope intercept things in a different way. Let's try one more application here. So this is similar. You have all of these different number of songs and the fees. Vern is going to be downloading different songs in February. We want to know how much should he expect to pay for each song. That is your slope. We also want to know how much to access the library. That is going to be your y-intercept. So I'm going to tackle this one similar to the last problem. I'm going to pick 2 points in time. So I'm going to use 10, 27, and just because it's decimal here, I'm actually going to use 40, 72 as my next one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I get 45 over 30, which reduces to 1.5 or 3/2. This is going to be the price per song. Okay, so we already have one answer, $1.50 per song. Now we need to find my y-intercept, the access to the library. So looking at this, we're going to use one of my points. I'm just going to use the 10, 27, along with my slope here. And so if I take and I solve for y, then I'm going to get this in slope-intercept form. And I can see that it's $1.50 per song. My one-time fee is going to be $12 to access the library. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.